He's always having us sad. Where is it?
They gonna hear you beating me. They gonna hear it. I'm telling. Sorry, you won't get humped. Fiona, what you were saying about locking me out. You should bring it to the police. Matter of fact, I'm gonna get my lawyer. It's gonna be the same lawyer Gman has.
Get your divorce lawyer.
I'm getting him. That's it. I'm done. I'm tired of this. You work to support me, woman. You remember that. Hell yeah. It's not a work appropriate shirt. Better take your ass to work. Gotta make sure he reads those books so you don't turn out like Gman. You don't have no fucking barely literate son. That's not gonna happen. Have a good day at work, dear. I'll be here farming these laws. Okay. Man. So, I heard the man-child had quite a bit of a sad, and I talked about a little bit of what I heard last night, because even when I do a lot of these, I don't catch up on everything myself, because so much stuff has happened, and so now he's kind of resorted to doing, I guess, reviews of some videos that I do, but he can't think and talk at the same time, so it makes it kind of hard for him to make up stuff and stay consistent. And so I actually listened to a little bit of it this morning, and so if you actually go back and if you actually sit down and write down some of the stuff that he says, he'll make a prediction, I guess, of what he thinks that I'm doing, and then when I say something that doesn't like comport to that, he'll change it afterwards, and the two things don't match at all. So in one instance, I'm just an outright bald-faced liar, and then the second I said I was being facetious, he goes, "Oh, now he's just trolling." Well, which is it? Am I just outright lying to people maliciously with like the intent just to lie, or am I just a troll saying shit for the lulz? So it's funny how that distinction seems not to exist, but then he goes back and insists that I'm just lying to people. But when folks bring up, well, what about your chocolate atheist thing? Oh no, that was just a joke. But that was, you fabricated that. That was not true. Well, it was just a joke. So somehow that distinction exists when he does things, but not when other people do things. And so isn't that always strange how he draws that? But since he likes crying, since he likes being sad, I figured why not go back, instead of going back to 2012, 2013, let's go back to something fairly recent when he was crying. Because I like this. I'm going to turn on closed captions.
Hello, everyone. I lost my voice from the previous hangout that I did, but
Oh, actually, come to find out, no, he didn't actually lose his voice from the hangout. It's because he was yelling on the phone. How do I know this? Well, I talked to the people he was yelling at the time. So that's why he lost his voice. Because notice, he always yells in a lot of his videos, especially when he's yelling to Black Hebrew Israelites, he's yelling to whoever the fuck is in his hangout, and he never seems to lose his voice. But I guess he figured no one was going to notice that, well, now all of a sudden, you've been doing the same thing that you've been doing, but now you lose your voice. No, he was yelling at people on the phone at the top of his lungs, and that's why he is now a bit hoarse.
I got some correction from a real friend online. I've obviously listened to a lot of the comments that was left to me in the live chat of the last video that I did from Sister Mary Bennett, Sister Faith Lane, Darcel, I think her name is, and a couple of other people. And I just recently got off the phone with Sister Cherry. Guys, a lot of you know I don't talk about my personal life here online.
Sure, okay. That's why I have no less than 3 videos of you talking about this mystery wife that's no longer around. That must be why I have a fucking stockpile of videos now. I mean, you talking about specifically your personal life. Okay, Gman. But let's get something straight. Like from the onset, you don't actually have a personal life. You have things that happen outside the internet. You really can't consider that a personal life because you actually spend a lot of your time online. So, if you want to consider what little bit that is your personal life, then sure. It might help if you never actually bring it up because you tend to bring it up quite a bit. Maybe you should go back instead of being triggered by all the profanity. Go back and just watch your own videos and go, man, I mentioned my personal life here. Man, I mentioned something that wasn't on the internet. Man, I say this stuff a lot. Maybe I should probably control some of the things that come out of my mouth at some point in fucking time. Maybe people wouldn't kick my ass on the internet if I did that. No, that requires introspection? Oh shit, you can't spell that word, can he? That's right. I forget.
I don't talk about like what goes on in my life personally and whatnot and everything and whatnot. That's for a reason. I have major trust issues, and I just don't like talking about my personal life. And,
okay, so let me explain something to folks. This is something that took me quite a while to find out about Gman, because people have been asking me, about some of the things that he says, because it doesn't make sense. It's not really, for one thing, it's not consistent, and then it's just the terms that he's using, most other people don't understand how he is using it, and he can't really articulate himself at all, so you have to kind of piece things together. So when he talks about having trust issues, that's because he's under certain assumptions. So let me explain. When you are nice to this retard, he thinks that you are automatically a friend. Now I actually have very few friends in real life. And because I like to keep certain people in my circles, it weeds out a lot of folks. And so for me to really call somebody a friend, I have to know them for quite a while. It's not that, well, these people were nice to me, so they're my friend. I don't really have that touchy-feely, I guess colloquial use of the word friend. I think it's actually something that comes with time and understanding and having ascertained the other person's attributes. And they have certain attributes that you have identified that are conducive toward you, what you're doing, your edification, all that good stuff, right? I actually spoke about this in another video where I said that there are people who have tiers of attributes that they desire, and some are above others. I gave the example that I personally value integrity over loyalty. And for instance, Gman here is the exact opposite. He desires loyalty. He puts loyalty at the very top, above everything else, and he expects you to sacrifice integrity in order to maintain that loyalty. But for me, I find that to be dishonest. I find that to be a way that just to create an echo chamber. And again, that's just my opinion based on the experiences I've had with numerous people from all walks of life, and especially dealing with this man-child here. So when you're nice to him, he expects you to sacrifice your integrity. When he wants somebody to trust and he wants someone in his circles, you will sacrifice your integrity at some point in time, because he has to be literally in tears after someone just got done correcting him, after someone had the audacity, or folks had the audacity, to correct his dumbass. In tears. This is how much integrity impacts him as a person. His tiny little heart can't even take criticism. So that's why he expects people to sacrifice their own integrity in keeping him honest. This is why loyalty is more powerful to him, because it makes him feel better about what he's doing. He doesn't want people in his circles to actually correct him. He's lying when he says that. Hell, we just watched the other night, we kicked out Shanny for correcting him. But he loves a good rebuking. He's a bald-faced liar, and he knows it. G-Man knows he lies, and he's admitted to lying. He makes excuses for it again and again and again. But again, that goes back to him not valuing that one attribute, which is integrity. So this is evident from his behavior in his own words. And so when he talks about not having trust issues and not trusting people, not talking about his personal life, that's because people can fact check the things that he's saying and show that he's being inconsistent. He does not want people to do that. That's why he's upset that I do this series when I expose him, because I can fact check the things that he's doing and contrast him against him and contrast his words against his actions. He doesn't like that at all. That's why he has trust issues. It has nothing to do with people being untrustworthy. It has nothing to do with disloyal people, because people who are loyal to you should have integrity. They should keep you in check. They should maintain a certain level of civility, but also maintain a certain, air about them that makes it so that you are not beyond reproach. And G-Man is always beyond reproach. Point in case, this video where this grown man is literally in tears, crying like a bitch because somebody corrected him, because he can't get his way. This entire video is him crying because he didn't get his way, because he got corrected, because his tiny fucking heart could not take correction like an actual man. This is why he's half a man. This is why his body and his mind represent who he really is as a person. It's just a bitch. But he wants the respect that men get from doing men things, manly, masculine things. That's why he has to try and emasculate other people. It's because he's not a man himself, and he feels exactly the way that I say. Like, he feels like a bitch. That's why he has to do videos like he does. Like when he wants to go and prove to everyone that he's working out and he's strong, but he's not. He's, by any standard, he is not strong. I'm telling you this from personal experience, folks. He's not. He is not. He puts up as much as a fight as my wife before we're having sex. That's how much of a fight this guy puts up. He is not in any way, shape, or form physically capable of even defending himself. But he thinks because the guys that he torments and harasses on the street won't whoop his ass, that somehow shows something about himself. That's odd because he tends to target women more often not than men on this particular platform. And that, again, shows me a lot about his character. So let's continue a little bit more of this, because I love seeing this right here. This is a good look for Gman, because this shows you exactly who he is on the inside.
When I trust somebody, I really, really trust them. And to a lot of times, it's to my own detriment. So I made a decision. Well, actually, before I get to the decision, I want to let everybody know that that I talked to Sister Cherry about what I was going to do regarding the vocab Malone G consciousness so real issue. The first thing that I want to do is I want to publicly apologize to Sister Cherry, because she really didn't have anything to do with this. She did not agree with any of the decisions that were being made regarding me being kicked out of Shield Squad.
So just as a quick recap, Gman wasn't aware of who all was involved with his removal from the group. So like the child that he is, he decided to attack everybody because he just assumed that one of his longtime advocates, Sister Cherry, was a part of it. Why? Now, mind you, folks, this is around the same time that he threw Veckel under the bus. Remember when we all were fooled when Raw pretended to be his son, and then he said he had died, and everyone pay your respects, yada yada. We were all trolled. GG Raw, good job, man. So everyone was fooled. So was Veckel. Veckel's passing along information from being fooled, and so this idiot, for some weird reason, thinks that Veckel purposely misled him. Now, what would cause him to think that? Well, him being a paranoid fuck is probably the core of it. But I think there's some other things there that need to be explored. Those trust issues probably had something to do with it. But again, this is the odd part. Veckel has always been able to sacrifice integrity to cape for G-Man. He's always been able to do that. So why all of a sudden did G-Man figure that Veckel grew some integrity overnight? Maybe that's it. Maybe he's noticing that Veckel may be developing some sense of integrity in some way, shape, or form. And that's why. I'm speculating. I have no idea. But it's odd given the years of history that they have defending one another, especially Veckel. So, to me, this turn of events was extremely odd, but it's also evident that G-Man himself is untrustworthy and just completely and utterly unworthy of anyone's trust, anyone's loyalty, anyone's friendship, because he himself cannot hold himself to any standard. He himself is beyond reproach and is a child. He is literally, this grown man, this grown supposedly man is crying in tears because he got kicked out of an internet group. Folks, I've seen 12-year-olds and 13-year-olds get pissed off because they got kicked out of a guild online from a game. This is the kind of stuff we expect from them. As somebody who's been gaming for years, this is the kind of stuff that we listen to over voice over IP programs because they are being removed from a guild or from a group. G-Man is displaying the same type of characteristics and traits and behaviors of a young teen. Just let that sink in for a second. And it's from his undoing. It's his own actions. And he can't accept that. He now had to face the fact that his actions actually have consequences. That reality, that look on his face right now, that's the reality sinking in, that his actions have consequences. He can't just do what he wants and people just assume that he is some hapless idiot that's just doing things and that he's just going to get the benefit of the doubt because he has lower mental capacity and no self-control. It's good that he meets these actual Christians, these actual people who have actual integrity. This is where the unstoppable idiotic force met the unmovable object that actually possesses the armor of God.
So that's the first thing that I want to point out. So please don't take this out on Sister Cherry, what I'm about to say. She had nothing to do about this. She just tried to talk me out of this. And I think that this is what's best. Effective immediately, I'm going to be leaving YouTube for a indefinite period of time. This is not a vacation. I'm leaving. I can't trust nobody here on the internet no more. Oh boy, I should have did this first. Let me do this right now. Okay. I can't trust nobody here on the internet no more. And if I can't trust my own family, then I don't see the point of doing what I'm doing here online. I feel like that people are just using me here on the internet, and they don't genuinely really care.
Why would people care for you? Yeah, it only lasted about 2 days. He couldn't stay away. He has an obsession. But listen to what he's saying here. Listen, he can't genuinely trust people. Now, what would make him think that people could trust him? What makes him think that he's trustworthy in the first place? Let's start there. But more or less, it has little to do with anyone betraying him. What he's actually referring to here, folks, is the fact that when I mentioned Veckel being fooled by Raw, like everyone else was fooled, this is what he's talking about. He's fabricated some entire scenario to make himself a victim. It's literally that serious to him. It's that serious. He can't go, you know what? My brother in Christ was fooled into thinking the same thing that every other Christian and every other atheist thought. His tiny brain couldn't come up with that. So he had to fabricate some entire scenario and ended up throwing a Christian brother who had his back for years under the bus. Now you tell me, folks, what type of friend does that? What does this idiot think that would lead him to the conclusion that somebody he's supposed to trust would do that and not give his Christian brother the benefit of the doubt? Because trust me, I've been in many a hangouts and I've witnessed many a hangouts where Veckel always advocates for him and always gives him the benefit of the doubt. Even when video proof is there, even when Veckel was watching, Veckel still gave him the benefit of the doubt. But this retard still, for some weird reason, would not reciprocate that to Veckel. Now, mind you, y'all know I don't really care for Veckel that much, but I'm not going to sit here and pretend like Veckel has not been in his corner since day one. So why now does this idiot think that the guy who had been in his corner since day one would all of a sudden turncoat on him? Maybe that he's paranoid and he doesn't realize that Veckel has been in his corner. Maybe he needs to be locked in a padded room and stop letting those voices in his head talk to him. Because that was just stupid. He's getting himself worked up over something he fabricated in his own head. But it's everyone else's problem. It's always everyone else is a problem. Everyone else is the issue. Everyone else doesn't understand. No, the barrel stacking, barely literate idiot is not the one with the problem. Of course not. Of course not. It's every other Christian who had been caping for this guy for years. Of course, they're the issue. That makes the most sense to everyone. Really. Out of all the Christians here, a few of them have to actually be real Christians. Come on. Just a handful. Really. Hell, even I say that. But it's just odd. It's odd that just me as an atheist, I can say that. I can see that. But he can't somehow bring himself to that because he's so upset. He's so in tears. He's so sad. He's crying. He was so upset he went out in the fucking park and farted because he couldn't even control his goddamn bowels. Sad. Pathetic. But yet everyone else is a problem. I still have the clip too when he couldn't control his bowels. It was pretty funny. We played it on Talking Shit Tuesday. But let's listen to more of Gman fabricate this, because if you guys don't know, what you're listening to here is him talk about Veckel. disparagingly, because again, Veckel was fooled like everyone else, literally everyone else.
I've been doing this strong now for about 5 years, and like I said, I'm burnt out, and this was like the final straw. You know what I mean? I can't even trust Christians here on the internet. I can't. Out of everybody that's in Shield Squad, Sister Cherry has been the only one who I can honestly call a friend in that group. I don't really know TVCO that well. So TVCO, this is for you, man. I don't believe you had anything to do with that decision making. The new guys that are part of Shield Squad, I know you guys had nothing to do with that. But Sister Cherry definitely disagreed with the decision making that was going on. So effective immediately, I'm going to keep the channel up. All the channels are going to remain up. But I am officially canceling my debate with Captain Tazariot. I'm canceling all of my debates that I had scheduled. I will not be making any appearances on anyone's YouTube channel because I am sick and tired of getting stabbed in the back by people that are claiming to be good people and claim to be my friends and everything and whatnot. And I had enough of that. I honestly had enough. And people were just getting me on their channel to use me. They're lying about me. They're saying I still was safe. I done had enough, guys. I honestly done had enough. It's been fun. It's been real. I can do ministry outside of YouTube. I don't have to record videos and upload them. I will no longer be uploading any videos. I will no longer be participating in any Google Hangouts. I will not be participating in any online ministry at all. I will not be on Power Talk. Do not call me on Skype for ministry. I don't want to hear it. I'm not going to be contacting anybody via YouTube. So if you leave a comment and your comment is not seen, I can't help you. I'm not going to approve your comment or anything like that. I'm going to be leaving YouTube for an indefinite period of time until God tells me to get my butt back.
Which just so happens to be 2 days. So he makes an excuse later. Well, it was God that told me to come back. Well, no, you don't have a life, and this is your life, and this is all you have in your life. So that's why you came back. But you can lie and tell everyone else otherwise. That's fine. We'll play along. But yeah.
Back on here, because if you guys know the Lord, you know that there's no arguing with Him. You got to do what you're called to do. And I just feel like I'm wasting my time on here, honestly.
Yeah, you should, I don't know, go out and find a woman and actually keep her. Work to keeping a woman. That works.
And this is going to take a little bit of time to heal from. Like I said, Vocab Malone, Surreal, and Gman, what they just did, I'm done. There will not be a season 3 of the G Podcast. There will not be a debate between me and Captain Tazariot. I will not be traveling. Well, actually, I'm not going to say I'm not going to travel from city to city to deal with the Hebrew Israelites, but I won't be uploading this stuff to YouTube no more. I want to apologize to my brother in Christ, Raw. I was misinformed by a Christian about you dying, and I put some information up here that was not true, and I apologize. Google Play keeps stopping my videos and stuff and whatnot. I tried to leave YouTube before, and I've had people talk me out of it. There ain't no talking me out of this one. And I don't want to be known as a Brett Keane or nothing like that. I'm just saying that I'm leaving for an indefinite period of time. If the Lord wants me back on here, I'll come back on here. But I will not be making a video about Vocab Malone, G Consciousness, or Surreal, or anybody. I will not be and the Hebrew Israelites are going to love this one. I will not be going after them anymore. When I see them on the street, I'm not going to say nothing to them. I'm not going to say a word to the Hebrew Israelites, not GMS, not ISUPK, not UIC. Hopefully they'll watch my videos and people will come to the knowledge of truth to realize that Christ is Lord. But, yeah, I'm done. There's going to be a lot of happy atheists and a lot of happy Hebrew Israelites out there. But, I can't do this no more, guys. I cannot do this no more. I can't trust nobody on this online no more. I can't trust atheists. I can't trust Christians. I can't trust the Hebrew Israelites. I can't trust nobody on here no more. I can't.
So did he ever, like, you have to wonder about something about this guy. There's a point where a lot of us go, look, does he have a sober or a lucid moment where he pulls his head out of his ass and he goes, maybe me attacking these three groups of people constantly, maybe that has something to do with why they can't trust me. You have to really wonder if he has moments like that. Well, if I randomly attack Christians, if I'm always attacking atheists and Hebrew Israelites, well, shouldn't there be an expectation from them not to trust me, just inherently? You never, but you see, folks, I think the problem with that is that we assume G-Man can look at his own actions, because you have to remember, he has a mind of a child. And so he makes excuses and has these weird biblical interpretations of his childlike mind, which is funny because it just gives him an excuse to act like a fucking child, an actual child. So he doesn't see that his actions have consequences. And so now he's in tears like a child because his actions have garnered him a particular reputation. And so since this reputation is built on and predicated by him and his demonstrably bad behavior based on the morality of Dragnot, he's for some reason doesn't get that he is untrustworthy. He's not worthy of trust. I'll break that down. G-Man is not worthy of trust. If you're upset, this is just basic, just as a reflexive kind of scenario. So if you attack people, those people are going to see that you are not someone that they can trust. Now let's look at that. If they know that based on your actions, then why would you think that they would then trust you? So let me run through that again for the folks with the big ass crayons and the construction paper. If G-Man spends time attacking those three groups of people, and that shows them that he is untrustworthy and a cretin, why does he think that he can somehow gain trust from them after he's done that? Because I sure as hell don't. I wouldn't trust him watching fucking Roadkill on a hot summer day. One thing, he's stupid. Secondly, he's untrustworthy. He can't even stay consistent with his own words. He didn't even last a day after this. He didn't even last a day. And he was back to this shit. So why does he think that people would somehow all of a sudden go, you know what? This guy has it going on. Let me just trust him after he's attacked random people in and around me. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, that sounds like a good... No, people don't work like that. I think people have coddled this grown child for too long. And that's kind of the conclusion I've come to, just based on what I know about folks. And again, this is speculation. He can prove me wrong. I'm just going to shift the burden of proof like he does. But if people have not coddled him his entire life, I would really be surprised. I would be extremely surprised, because it's clear that he gets through in life and he gets by people enabling him and his bad behavior, because they feel sorry for him, because they know that he's half retarded. He can't really accept the fact that he is, even though he's mentioned his diagnosis and somehow convinced himself that he's cured. By the way, G-Man, you're not. You are still emotionally fucking disturbed, and it's quite clear after meeting you that you still are. But it's strange that he's convinced. I guess it's not that strange, because people who are mentally ill seem to sometimes not really get it. He's still under the impression, for whatever reason, that he is better. And he's not. I think it's just a lie that he tells himself so he can sleep better at night. But let's play this game. If he is better, if he is somehow cured of his whatever it is that's going on with him, wouldn't he still? Let's look at his life here, because he seems to always like to talk about that. Wouldn't he have a wife? Wouldn't he have a loving family? Would he be living a Christian life instead of living like a bachelor who can barely take care of himself and buy clothes that fit? I mean, hell. Geez. It's almost like his actions have consequences. It's almost like, since he can't control himself, he can't actually maintain healthy relationships with people. And so maybe that's the cause of the shit that happens in his life. Maybe it's because maybe he has a shit life in a shit job and shit prospects because of who he is as a person. It's possibly, I'm just throwing it out there, if you're a shitty person, you probably have a shitty life. I'm just throwing it out there. Because it seems, and I've noticed this with people too, I've noticed this, people who focus on other folks' lives and try to critique other people's lives, sometimes they have issues. And they're trying to project those issues out on other people. Like, I don't know, randomly attacking people for their sexual orientation. Just saying. If he would take half the amount of time he takes attacking people with working on building interpersonal relationships, hell, he might even find him another wife. I mean, there are crazy women out here who have his mental capacity. So, I mean, it happened once, didn't it? It could probably happen again. Who knows? But you see, he knows now. I think he knows now that he is undeserving of a loving and affectionate wife. I'm fortunate to have one. And she doesn't want to be into this mess because she isn't the type of person to get involved in this, because she is unlike me. She is opposite of me, and she is actually my better half. I have no problem shitting on him because of the way he treats people. No problem whatsoever. No compunction, because he is such a shitty person and he deserves everything that he gets and more. Supposedly, allegedly. Because he's a shitty person, his life is shit. And he will be shit. So, maybe he can find that wife again, and maybe he can go find that degree, and maybe he can go find another way to convince people that he's not half fucking retarded. Because we're not convinced. I'm sorry. I don't think there's going to be a time where I go, you know what? Gman's a bright guy. He has a lot going on. He has a bright future. No. He's going to be a grown man crying on the internet because they kicked him out of a group. This is who he is. Fundamentally, as a person, this is who he is.
Can't do this no more. So, you all take care. This has been fun. I've learned a lot of things, believe it or not. I mean, it's a lot of mean things in the atheist community, but believe it or not, they taught me a lot about some of the arguments against scripture that I never heard before. I learned from pretty much everybody that I talked to on here.
Didn't he lie and say he learns nothing from us? Didn't he lie and say that? Oh, maybe this was a lie and he was telling the truth. Like, I don't know, but I could have sworn he said something. He could say the exact opposite a few days ago.
Maybe I'll be able to go to the Museum of Natural History now and actually enjoy it for a change, without having everybody tell me, this whole great debate stuff and whatnot. So.
There was no great debate stuff, by the way, folks. There are people of various education levels trying to teach this idiot. And he just can't learn. But here's a flashback, folks. This is when he called the Atheist Experience, and people were clearly impressed with his level of knowledge.
Just a quick definition. First of all, I hope you guys are having a great day today. I'm a theist, and my question is...
Oh, by the way, Gman Doc dropped himself here.
What is the definition of atheism? And no, I am not trolling.
Go, John. You've already done this once today.
Atheism is an atheist is somebody who does not believe in a god or gods.
Okay, does that mean supernatural gods or does that mean natural gods?
I'm not sure I know what a natural god is.
A natural god would be something like you see in the pagan religions where they worship, let's say, earth or the trees or nature or something like that.
I do not believe in those things either.
Well, I would acknowledge that trees exist. I just don't see any particular reason to worship them. I mean, I think they're cool.
Are you going by the definitions of pagans? For example, the definition of Islam is using for God, and that would be black people. Are you using the definition for the New Age God, or are you just talking about the God of the Bible?
I can't make a blanket definition about everything you might use to define the word God. So how about you throw me a particular meaning of God, and I'll tell you whether I believe in it or not.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure, no problem.
Okay.
If you look at LaVeyan Satanism, LaVeyan Satanists claims that they are their own gods and goddesses. That means that they're their own final judges and their own final authorities. Do you believe that final judges and final authorities exist?
I know some Satanists, and I know some Satanists, and I think that a lot of them are just using the term God metaphorically.
See, here's something that I've pointed out to people before, folks. What people might get offended me calling him a retard. I actually do think he has mental retardation. He can't understand analogies, metaphors, and the literal use of a term and the figurative use of a term. He does not understand. And someone who is not even connected to this stuff that we do on G+, has pointed this out now. This is a separate person that he's spoken to Gman for the first time. And I accurately identified something we pointed out years ago. He doesn't know the difference between literal and figurative. This is a sign that he can't actually comprehend some of the stuff that he's trying to read. When he actually does read, if he reads.
They're not outright trolling people.
Because look like he's genuinely trying to figure out, because you don't run across adults. I can't really say that I have run across any adult that can't distinguish literal and figurative. I'll be completely honest with you. I don't think that I've ever run, other than G-Man, I want to say he is the only adult that cannot distinguish literal and figurative. And so now he's having to wonder, is this guy actually trolling? Because you don't run across that. Unfortunately, no. In this case, G-Man was not trolling. He just doesn't understand and refuses to take correction on it.
I own a satanic Bible, and I know for a fact that they treat themselves as being gods and goddesses.
Okay.
Anton LaVey is quoted as saying that their followers are gods and goddesses.
Right.
Again,
I probably don't believe in that thing then.
LaVey and Satan is God.
I mean, I would say that if you think you're your own God, I would acknowledge that you exist. But then we kind of get back to what we were talking to the pantheist guy about. I don't see any reason to call you a god or call the universe a god. So again, if you want to define God in a particular way, that's cool. And I may believe in. I could say I believe in.
Right. So all I'm basically saying is the definition of atheism says that there's no such thing as a God or God.
No, it says that we don't believe any particular definition of a God.
Right. I understand that. You don't believe in any gods, right?
Yeah.
So if I can show you a God, we're showing you empirical evidence, which is a tree, planet, or something that people are worshiping and is accepting worship, then you're dealing with a God. So basically what I'm saying is there's no such thing as an atheist, because an atheist claims that they do not believe in a God or a God, when in fact you see these things every single day if you go by the definition of that particular religion.
Okay.
Atheist like I believe
We
in a Christian
don't go
God.
by that definition, but if you're going to define a tree as a god, then yes, we believe in trees. And your point is?
My point is that atheism can't be valid or logical. The reason why I say that is because if you look at somebody's religion,
God is a tree. You win. Now what?
I'm not saying that God is if a God is a tree, then you're not an atheist.
You're right.
With respect to that God, sure.
You're right. Congratulations.
Right. So
now what?
You say you don't believe in a God or a God?
Because I don't think that it's reasonable to call a tree a God.
According to what definition?
Well, do you believe in? I mean, circling back to an earlier conversation, do you believe in Santa Claus?
Santa Claus and trees are two entirely different things. We can prove that trees exist scientifically. We cannot prove that Santa Claus exists scientifically.
Okay, but I'm telling you that Santa Claus is a cheeseburger. Now, do you believe in Santa Claus?
Well, there's no religion out there that I know of that is on paper that is saying that a cheeseburger is a god. What I think you guys are failing to realize, if you look in history, I'd like a little bit more time.
Into Wikipedia, the entry on Santa Claus, I'm typing, according to my religion, Santa Claus is a cheeseburger. Now there's a religion that believes it.
Right, and it's an atheist that's trolling everybody on the internet. No one's stupid. My thing is this.
No one's stupid. Okay. Okay, folks. It's not the guy. It's not the guy who doesn't know the difference between literal and figurative that's stupid. No, by no means is it that. It's everyone else who has a high school education that has the problem. It's almost like there's a theme with this. The guy with little to no education is telling everyone else they don't understand. Fuck me running, right? Look, G-Man is the gift that keeps on motherfucking giving. Like he doesn't quit. When he thinks that he's found an edge somewhere, he kicks his feet, he goes and he runs to Ken Jones and he jumps up and down and he has some white stuff around his nose he needs to wipe off, and then he goes, you know what, hey, I found something great. I'll redefine shit again and again and again. I don't care. Those fallacies only exist for atheists. I'm going to circumvent logic. No, I didn't make that up. Yes, he actually did say that one time. So it's crazy. But this guy, folks, this guy has all the fucking answers. This guy knows his shit. While he's stacking them motherfucking barrels, he is coming up with some of the best arguments you ever. Oh, wait, what is it? Whoa, wait. He changes his style of argumentation. His style of argument. I'm sorry, I can't say that stupid shit without laughing. His style of argumentation changes based on a whim. He doesn't actually think about the shit. He doesn't actually do any type of critiques of his own ideas, because if it comes in his head, then it must be divine. Yes, he does think that. So if you missed, this was years ago when he said he wanted to circumvent logic. He did say that, and it was this was a little bit before the chocolate atheist thing, but it was around the same time. Around the same time, he wanted to Yes. Now, it's not that far-fetched, folks, but a lot of us kind of went, no, he didn't say that. This is before we knew that he had a diminished mental capacity. He did say that he wanted to circumvent logic. Just think about that for a second. Think about, he had convinced himself that logical fallacies were something that atheists created up on the internet just to fuck with him. He first convinced himself of that. Then he realized, oh shit, this stuff has been around for a while. Even Christian philosophers know this. Well, I guess I kind of have to treat them as real things now. So then he moved to saying, you know what? I'm not going to memorize. I'm not going to memorize logical fallacies. I'm not going to learn the different types of logic. That requires me reading, and I don't have time for that shit, and I'm illiterate. So I can't find a cute white girl on YouTube to tell me these things. So I can't suck the information out of Veckel and Tommy Hall's dick. So I'm kind of out of options. So in his great wisdom, he came up with the idea that he is going to just circumvent logic entirely. Well, Gman, you've been motherfucking successful at that for quite some time. You've been circumventing logic for quite a few years. That's probably why your job doesn't require any type of critical thought whatsoever. So congratulations, you succeeded in your goal to circumvent fucking logic. Oh my goodness. Maybe you could save up all that money and go purchase you a mail order bride. Oh my goodness. Folks. Atheists have no basis to judge. Oh, he's upset.
One of these great debate issues that's really important for this community, because we need to start talking about what is right and what is wrong here in terms of like morality goes, because atheists are talking on two sides of their butts. On one hand, they're saying everything is subjective, and now they're arguing that everything is objective. So, I'm confused about what their position is regarding this, because there's a lot of hypocrisy.
Could you imagine walking by him on the street?
They have been arguing for a long time that there are no moral absolutes. They claim that everything is subjective. But when Brett King was doing his thing here on the internet,
Look, folks, for some reason he still keeps generalizing. Not all of us are moral anti-realists. Not all of us are the polar opposite. That should be evident right now, but I haven't had coffee. But we all hold different positions. But I'm going to try to see if we can move him towards linking up with Brett King, because Brett King will exploit him and stab him in the back again. So I like it. I'm going to move him toward Brett King. I don't know about you guys.
Whether or not he went to school or anything like that. And it seems with these atheists, they always talk out of two sides of their mouth. On the one hand, it is based on a person's own personal opinion. And on the other hand, they argue like everything is absolutely true. We got a problem here.
You argue like that.
Because my argument has always been regarding this is that I don't, that in order to have a society that's going to function properly, you have to be able to have objective moral values. And I believe that atheists do have objective moral values. I'm going to say this again until I'm proven wrong, without people being hypocrites and contradicting themselves and
there we go.
saying one thing out of their mouth and then saying another thing.
There we go. It's up to people to disprove him. There we go. I called it.
So I'm waiting for multiple personalities to come and get me. But I'm 100% dead serious on this, because I'm going to use this for my evidence for the existence of God. And I'm going to give you yet one more reason why I believe a lot of these people on the internet are wasting people's time. And it's about time we literally stop dealing with the ones who are contradicting themselves.
So you gonna stop dealing with yourself?
First of all, I hope everybody has a good morning and everything and whatnot. Got out of my bed, realized I had to come here. But anyway, let's get down to the argumentation here. A lot of these, the buffoonery that I'm mentioning here, that I'm noticing here on the internet, listen, it's either people are good people or they're bad people. Which one is it? From the Christian worldview, I think that we're all sinners, and we need the Most High God to be able to cleanse us from our sins. That's what I believe.
Mm.
You know what atheists believe? I couldn't even tell you. These people are so confusing. It's not even funny. Like I said,
We're confusing.
We're just saying, well, it kind of depends on the society that you're living in, and it kind of depends on a person's upbringing, and it kind of depends on this, that, and
Oh shit! It's multifaceted.
It has nothing to do with society. It has nothing to do with upbringing.
Really?
What it has to do. That's not him.
Wow.
What it has to do, ladies and gentlemen, it has to do with people arguing in the moment. In the moment when there's
wow.
on the line, so that they don't have to admit that a God exists.
Wow.
What they ultimately do is just.
I gotta. Wow. So a person's environment has nothing to do with how they develop mentally. Just look, folks. Wow. Wow. Yeah, they're gonna go see Avengers. So let me see if I understand him right. Wow. So me as a person, you as a person, where you grew up, the people you grew up, your parents, your genetic, like none of that shit actually has anything to do with how you develop. Wow. I learned something new, folks. This bitch is dumb. Jesus. Wow. Just please, somebody make a video. Somebody comment. How the fuck do you defend this stupidity? That's so demonstrably fucking false. I can't even produce words to describe. Yes, you are partially a product of your environment. Not entirely. It's hell. What is the old say? Nature versus nurture? What do you think the nature part is? Like what? It's like Gman was produced out of fucking nothing. Like just fucking completely ex nihilo. And he just developed somehow over the years with no guidance or anything, and just developed into this amorphous blob of stupidity and anger and paranoia. It's just wow. Like that's why I said G-Man is the gift that keeps on giving. Just when you think that he said something dumb, he beats it. And people want to drag. Why after so many years you have to, what is there? This is it. This is one of those moments. This is one of those moments when you think that he has reached an all-time low with the stupid shit that he says. He beats it every single time. He finds a new low. When you think that like this, it's like everybody knows this. Like, come on, you've heard plenty of people say this stuff. It should be intuitive, even if you hadn't heard anyone say it. But it's wow. How do people defend that? How do you defend? There's no way, shape, or form that he was correct about that. Yes, your environment has an influence on how you develop, like physically, mentally, spiritually. Like, jeez, how for you Christian folks, out there who are constantly trying to suck his dick and put your head up his ass. Someone tell me. True, I know you're watching. Tell me how you defend that. I am genuinely curious how you defend that. Because True, you've mentioned specifically Sam's background a few times and how Sam's background plays a role into the person that he is, specifically in referencing his privilege. So I know you understand that, True. You made it a fucking point of contention. So how does your buddy Gman not understand that? Please explain that to me. Because there's no way you can square this circle at all. There's no way. Because both of those contradict one another. G-Man's saying that, no, there is no environmental influence here. And then you say, well, yeah, that actually has a lot to do with how people actually develop and what they become. Which is it? Did y'all not pass notes during class? Did y'all not trade? So, like, what is it? I'm flabbergasted, folks. This is me being flabbergasted. Because there's a certain G-Man stupidity cap that I have each day, and I'm about fucking hit it already. Man, I might not make another video later, because I'm like, shit. How do you come to this? But here's the inconsistent thing. He's talked about he talks about his parents that weren't really about shit. I'm paraphrasing. His stepdad that was Nation of Islam and how that influenced a lot of his views when he was younger. So he does know that your environment does influence what you think. He knows, he spoke about it recently. But now when it comes to somebody else's position, again, here we go, folks. Standards change. So it's okay. His environment with his whatever parents influenced him at that age and as a person, and he can reflect upon that. Somehow he has enough brain cells to do that. But he doesn't see that for other people. So G-Man is this unique entity where only in his situation, his environment influenced him, but nobody else. Nobody else's environment do that. No. It has to be, here we go again, the G intuition activating. People just change what they believe just for the sake of argument when they come on the internet. Only G-Man would come up with something. Now here's the fun part. Oh, Pew, I'm hitting those soft spots because he's already hit those spots with me, so I'm tearing him up. I'm fucking those spots. So here's the fun part. The fun thing is, when he's saying this, it really does show you that he doesn't understand that he can't generalize. At the very least, and what we kind of just heard there, that shows you that he still doesn't understand why you don't generalize. Because that's essentially what he's doing. His confusion doesn't come from him understanding people's positions, because mind you, he's not ever actually listening to you. And you also have to keep in mind that G-Man has publicly said that he thinks everyone's lying to him. So, in its own way, it's still weird because he doesn't get that the failing of understanding, or the failing of the dialectic that's being had is on his part. Because again, there we go, that would require him to introspect, that would require him to look at himself and say, maybe I should shut the hell up and put a fucking dick in my mouth while other people are talking so I can actually hear them. There's at no point that he thinks that, other than I guess when there's a cute black Hebrew Israelite that walks by. So is at no point he goes, let me actually understand. So sock account is a moral anti-realist. Maybe there are atheists who are more realists. Could it be possible? Could it be possible that atheists have different positions and they don't all think the same? That at no point in time did he come to that conclusion. And that should tell folks something. Because in a previous video he made a few days ago, I think this was on GTV if I'm not mistaken. It might have been marked by God. Whatever. Thank you. Ozzy's a good example of a moral realist. Well, I think somewhat of a moral realist. I think he kind of, I don't want to say he waffles on that. I think he has a mixture of kind of both, and that he has some, there are some things that he think are moral real, like I guess edicts, if you want to call them that. I'm not sure the terminology. But if I remember correctly, he's not completely one. But I'll let Ozzy speak for his fucking self. But it should go without saying. At the end of the day, it should go without saying that not all atheists think the same. There are some atheists who are substance dualists. I don't know how. I've come across them. Whatever. But in that previous video, Gman said he's bringing something back, like he was pulling a weapon out the fucking arms room. He brought back a piece of paper about yay big, and scrawled on it was the word all, A-L-L. And so I'm like, he explains it. He's going back to generalizing atheists now. So in his mind, him generalizing everyone is some weird sort of punishment or something. He hasn't. Again, I can't place enough emphasis on how he kicks his own ass, and he does most of the work for me. He doesn't see how him generalizing hurts him, because when someone goes, "No, G-Man, I'm not a moral anti-realist," or "No, G-Man, I'm not a moral realist," because then he has to lie and say that no, you're not. Well, G-Man, what proved? Have you actually heard me saying different? No, I know all atheists. Well, no. Oh, thank you, Grand Poobah of the ultimate fucking X-Men psychic fucking abilities. Thank you. Your telepathic powers have unveiled my deception. Oh, Professor X, you are so cool. Like, really? He's psychic, but he's stupid at the same time. I'm not sure how you managed to do that. I don't think in any comic book universe there are stupid psychics. I think there are psychics who've been, they drove themselves crazy from having psychic battles. But is there? I could be wrong. Is there a mentally handicapped psychic that was not rendered mentally handicapped from like a psychic battle? But, geez, someone that has such a low IQ has to invoke psychic abilities. That should tell you something about them. That should really tell you something about G-Man. But then he wonders why no one can trust him. Well, probably because he just makes up shit. That could I'm just throwing it out there. Maybe it's because he has low IQ and he just makes up shit. I'm just spitballing here. So I'm actually going to take a little break. Let me get some coffee. So. Oh, by the way, watch this video. Actually, let me play this video before I go.
Another edition of the preaching. This is Raymond. Today, I'm going to call him out right now. See, this is or shut up. This is when you have to actually prove your point, not just say what you have to say. I've been doing my best to ignore this guy and ignore him and ignore him and ignore him. Dragnut stupidity. Dragnut, thanks to Dragnut. Dragnut came on. Dragnut. First and foremost, Dragnut.
Gman claims he's not obsessed with Dragnut, although he clearly is. And it's pretty obvious why. Just like the inevitable conclusion.
What is the basis for your morality?
My basis is kiss my ass, you stupid ass bitch, stupid ass bitch, stupid ass bitch, stupid ass bitch, stupid ass bitch.
Dear preaching to the choir ministries, none of the cool kids will let me play with them. They make fun of my illiteracy, my ignorance, and my missing life. I sit alone at my job, stacking barrels, yelling at my phone, and misunderstanding the Bible. The cool kids have the science channels and the spicy memes, while all I get are downvotes and soy milk. I'm not educated. I'm not spicy. SOG kicked me out, and my only upvotes come from Mom. But I'll expose them all just as soon as I make one more video.
Well, this is my last video. It all has to come to this.
Hello, everyone. Welcome.
Go subscribe to Slim Jim, folks. He was wrong as hell for this clip. Where is it? He was wrong as hell. Oh, where is it? Where's the fucking school shoot? Yes, there it is. Yeah, Jim was wrong as hell for that, but it was funny. It was funny. So go subscribe to Jim, folks. So if you don't know, this is he made this as a part of his contribution for our contest on Talking Shit Tuesday. We want folks to take the clips from the hangout that Gman and I had the other morning, 24 hours ago, and make your own video. Pew, I know. Hey, try and top Jim. Jim brought it. He brought it to the fucking weeds, man. So let's see if you can top that. And we're going to play them on Talking Shit Tuesday and vote on them. So let me go get some coffee. Y'all enjoy some music. I make love to this music.
doctors, some of you got this, that, and the other. Some of you got this, and some of you got that, and whatnot. The funny thing about it is this: when are you going to use the education that you learned and actually use it and tell me, G-Man, the reason why you're a horrible person is because you want to know why? Because atheists on YouTube, I'm appealing to my worldview, because my worldview actually makes sense. It's a master's degree, not massive degree. I didn't even say I said master's degree.
Oh, thank you.
I'm going to appeal to my worldview that I declare that the atheists on the internet that say that there are no absolute moral values are liars. Because when you start sitting there and saying that my behavior is bad, that shows that you do believe in absolute moral values.
Oh.
Based on your own personal opinion. I can show you whole channels where they're talking about me and they're not talking about opinion and they're talking about 100% fact. Like they can prove this in a laboratory. Like they can prove this using a scientific method. Remember, these people are supposed to be epistemists. People who don't operate on faith, right?
Okay, so I only know two people who are epistemists, Bionic Dance and Arn Raw. I am not an epistivist. The things that I say about G-Man are facts. He doesn't have a wife. He is a loser, a barrel stacking loser, and he is barely literate. It is my opinion that he is untrustworthy. It is my opinion that he is immoral. I don't need the scientific method to prove my opinions there. You can take them or leave them. I don't really give a shit. But most of the things I say about G-Man are facts, and he's upset with the facts. So hey.
Plus, if you learn how to act like that for your mom or your wife, man, that's pretty sad. You know, I'm just saying, man. Most mothers tell you to respect your to respect people because you don't know what they're gonna do. You know what I mean, regarding your behavior and whatnot.
Actually, y'all want to know something funny? Let me actually talk about that because I did mention that I get my morality from my mother. So for those of you who have listened, I've actually called Mama Dragnot, and Mama Dragnot is very aware of G-Man. In fact, Mama Dragnot is one of my subscribers. Let that sink in. Mama Dragnot was here to visit Little Dragnot and Mrs. Dragnot for Christmas. And we all sat in my living room right over there and we talked about G-Man. We had a nice little conversation about him. She really didn't overtly insult him like I would, but she thinks that we have a unique relationship. That's her phrasing, not mine. But so let me inform you as to what my mother taught me. My mother always said, don't bite off more than you can chew, and don't mess with crazy people. Well, my mother knows that I am one of those crazy people. So, I can't say that she absolutely approves of all the mean stuff that I say to G-Man. No, she and I would disagree, but I'm of a different mindset. Like I said, I get my basis for my morality from my mother, but I modified what she's taught me. Because I think that I like results. I like doing what works. And turning the other cheek, trying to be the better man, beating them with kindness, all these nice, little, sayings or whatever. They work on certain people. And so I look at it like this. You have many keys for many different locks, and there are certain keys that work in certain locks and certain ones that don't. With G-Man, he operates in a different way. And I've said this, I get results. The reason I get results is because I do exactly what he does. And he's upset that I give him what he gets. I mean, he gets what I fucking give him. But what he gives other people, I give to him. So, while my mother would not approve, she definitely doesn't approve of his behavior. So she would say that we're both wrong, technically. And that she would think that we should probably be doing something a little bit better. But she is aware that he is unable to control himself. So my mother really doesn't expect much from G-Man. And again, it's a Christian woman. But she does expect better from me because she knows that I'm not at his mental capacity. But I find it interesting. Okay, you guys want to see the shirt. I think my mother-in-law got this shirt for me. There we go. I think my mother-in-law got it at Kohl's in somewhere in on the Maryland in the Maryland-Delaware border. I think there's a Kohl's there. I want to say that's where she got it. I did sleep in this. Well, actually, no, I lied. No, I didn't. I slept naked. I wasn't kidding when I said that one of us gets to go to bed after we get off the internet and go sleep next to a woman, and I did. So yeah. Anyway, my point is that I find Gman's statements interesting because even though I do ground a lot of my morality in what I was taught as a child and as an adolescent, I've modified it based on my needs and based on my experiences, like I would imagine we all do. So yes, my mother is my basis for my morality. If you wanted a philosophical, whether I'm a consequentialist or what are the two other branches of ethics? It's consequentialism. I always forget them. The three branches of normative ethics. It's the one that has divine command theory. Shit. It's the one about duty. I can never remember these. I'm trying to remember them without looking it up. It's consequentialism. Damn it. I remember it later. Anyway, G-Man is not going to want to have a conversation about virtue. There we go. Virtue is the other one, and there's still one more. There's three branches of normative ethics. G-Man is not going to want to have a conversation about that. Shane says she's seen a picture with G-Man wife and kids. Oh, jeez. Ugh. I don't. Ugh. Don't put that thought in my head. Well, you know what? I take some solace in that he no longer has a woman in his life in that capacity. And he's not around kids to influence him. Shit. Oh, fuck me. Jeez. I take some solace. I sleep better at night knowing that he's not influencing young minds, at least not in that capacity. Sheshe Albad. So let's listen to a little bit more, because I think it's funny he talks about moral basis, because he thinks that because he's a Christian, he's beyond reproach, basically, and only Christians can criticize him. So I give you guys a preview. So for our next bout, I'm going to say, since he's a Christian, he's not an atheist, he can't critique my behavior. You guys probably saw that coming, but he doesn't. It's almost like I'm making it obvious what I'm doing.
I don't even want a divorce, even if they cheat on you. So it just depends on the individual person. But objectively speaking, when it comes to God, because He is the absolute moral lawgiver, He is the one that tells you that something is 100% right or something is 100% wrong. I have something to appeal to. I have a basis for my morality.
Oh.
I have a basis for saying that something is right.
So why are you divorced?
In the atheist worldview, is it right or wrong to divorce? And how do you know? How do you know? In the atheist worldview, how do you know that it is right or wrong to divorce? And what are you basing it on?
Right or wrong?
Now, I want to get to the second part of this video that I wanted to do, because everyone knows by now that the atheists are pathetic when it comes to this particular issue here. The only reason they respond to me the way they do is because they don't like the fact that I pwned them so hard on this YouTube channel. Crying out loud, I went to a cemetery and said that atheism was dead, and I'm going to do it again.
Oh no!
I might even decide to go to somewhere where they sell coffins and say that this is where we're going to bury the remnants of it, just to show these guys and remind them of who they're talking to.
Don't do that, G-Man.
The most outspoken Christian on the internet when it comes to YouTube atheism.
No.
And I have no problem reminding them about it at all. You should have let me deal with the Hebrew Israelites. Now I'm gonna put you in your place.
Don't do that.
Oh, it ain't edgy. You guys don't know how bad I can get on here. So secondly,
Don't do
let's
that.
talk about this here for a minute. We already talked about morality and everything and whatnot, right? Because I know MP is going to be here soon. I wonder if I should even get into this topic, because I don't want to halfway do it. Give me a minute. Let me think about this a minute.
Think about what you say before you say it. No, G-Man, don't do that. That'd be out of character.
It's Penn Station. No, not Penn Station. Penn Station.
How about this, folks?
Actually, that is Penn Station, but
How about this? So MP values his anonymity on the internet, and I'm pretty sure that he doesn't want his vehicle fucking shown on the goddamn internet. So how about this idiot keep the fucking camera on him and not out there, and not make motions toward his fucking vehicle, you know, the one that he has his kids in and stuff. So, you know, but of course the moral person here isn't being very smart.
no, I had an Oh, is she okay? Are you all right? She all right? What happened? What happened? Her. Oh. Lady slipped and fell over there. Wow.
Please stay away from the woman. Just stay away from women in general.
How you doing, Lita? Lita for Christ. She's okay. She's walking. Wow. You gotta really pay attention to what's going on around you around here, man. Serious. I don't even know if it's smart making this YouTube video right now.
Now he's considering whether it's a smart idea or not. Jeez.
Okay, there's some crazy guy over there talking to himself. Let me
G-Man says there's some crazy guy talking to himself. Oh God.
Hold on, man. I'm gonna cross the street here. Hold on.
The irony.
These people over here are crazy, man, but I love New York, man. These people over here are some type of crazy. I gotta be careful not to record MP by accident.
No
he's
shit.
supposed to be me over here too, so I gotta kind of pay attention to what I'm doing here, guys. Just give me a second here. Hold on.
Now he realizes it. Jeez.
There's some crazy guy over there, just like yelling and talking to himself and punching the air and whatnot. And I was like, nah, that's all right. Let me get over here before I go to jail. I've never been to Rikers. Don't want to go to Rikers.
Y'all better get these fucking clips.
They rape you in them kind of places, yo. That's all right. That's all right.
Y'all better get these fucking
So,
clips.
yeah, guys, I'm gonna cut this video short. I don't think I got enough time to go into the next topic that I wanted to do. I'll do it a little bit later with MP around. But at the end of the day, I meant what I said. The atheists don't have a basis to say anything. Sometimes I want to know how they know the difference between the truth and the lie. Sometimes, because everything is so subjective to them. Every time I turn around, they're claiming they're telling the truth, and then when you do your research, you find out they're lying. You know what I mean? So I don't even think they know what a lie is and what the truth is or anything like that.
Wow.
Some people are probably wondering why I never apologized to Jade for talking loud on a geek show. For those of you who are regulars on this YouTube channel, you know that sometimes, you know, well, not sometimes, I talk about the Hebrew Israelites on here a lot, and they read the Bible a certain way. They read it with a lot of loudness and boldness. And
What does that fucking have to do with that?
I decided to act like one of them, but she wanted to pretend like she'd never seen me do that on my YouTube channel before. I wanted to pretend like her ears were hurting or whatever.
She's
Like
pretending.
she had to turn down her volume or something.
Wow.
You know what I mean? I guess that was too difficult for her to do. You know, being as smart as she is and everything and whatnot.
Because she knew you were going to do that. Because she was psychic.
You know, I've never seen a professional fight. They got a world lightweight, heavyweight champion.
So wait. Here, where's True at? Where's True? True. Now, are you listening to this? So get this, True. Because you like to defend your little boyfriend G-Man a lot. And if I need to get this fucking, there we go. So let me get this straight. So let me get this straight, folks. So after he's already hurt her ears blowing loudly into a fucking microphone, the last time he didn't have the foresight to know that, you know what, maybe doing that again would actually physically hurt Jade or anyone else that has sensitive hearing. So wait, Jade has to have psychic fucking abilities to know that he was going to do that, and to hurry up and turn her own volume down, or go to the control panel and hurry up and turn everything down, or turn Gman down, so he wouldn't do that. So let me understand this shit for a second, folks. Let me understand this stuff, okay? Here's what, again, I cannot believe the lack of fucking introspection with this dude. And he wonders why I'm on his ass. And he just, wow. So if I get in a conversation with him next time, I am going to use the loudest, and I mean the loudest, fucking military shout that I know. The loudest at ease that I can to blow his fucking eardrums out. That is going to be my goal. If he doesn't know that I was in the military, that's his fucking fault. He should have turned his volume down, or my volume down, because he knew I was in the military and I can talk loud. Wow, folks. So don't be surprised if Gman has hurt ears. Y'all heard that shit, right? Y'all heard that. Was there any notification that he was, because I was wondering why he was posturing, but even I didn't see, like, again, I don't have psychic fucking abilities to know that he was going to yell in the fucking mic. Why do that? Again, it goes back to self. If true, please come and suck his dick through the fucking monitor, because I want to hear your excuse for why that was acceptable. I'm genuinely curious. Please come here and suck off your boyfriend as to why that shit's acceptable, because I'm flabbergasted yet again. Please tell me why. Please tell me. Somebody come get your mans, because he needs an ass whooping. That's what he honestly needs, because I don't think he's had his ass whooped ever in his life. I really, after beating him, he ain't never had his ass whooped. He's never been chin checked in his life, because he wouldn't act like that if he had actually been chin checked at any point in time in his life. People have been sorry for him because he's a goddamn idiot. But somebody come get your man, because that's just what. So what about that? So what about that is Christian? I want to know that too, since we're talking about Christian morals and all this other stupid shit that you guys like to bring up. What? So people are just, again, so we're supposed to be psychic and be in tune with this fucking halfwit and predict that he's going to be a halfwit. So maybe every time somebody does something fucked up to him, I'm just going to say he should have known it, because he should have known who that person was. I'm going to make use the same exact excuses that he uses for his fucking behavior. These same exact ones. Yo, here, just, wow. But he wants people to be trustworthy. He's crying about people, not being nice to him. He's crying about this, that, and the other. He's crying like, really? And he wonders why I treat him like shit, because that's what he deserves. Honestly, he deserves a lot worse. Please go thumbs down that fucking video. Actually, let me send a message to MP real quick. Give me 1 minute. Give me 1 minute. So we're gonna see something real quick. Well, not real quick, a little bit later. So isn't that amazing, folks? this moral Christian guy thinks that shit's cool. Again, this is a moral Christian guy. This is guys people stand up for. They stick behind him. This is what's cool. He had an opportunity. He has plenty of opportunities. But so he doesn't like me bringing up his personal life, but he thinks that shit like that's cool. And he wonders why he couldn't keep a wife. I see why. I fucking see why. Jeez. When you think he's reached a new low, no. He definitely reaches to the bottom of the barrel. Wow. So, folks, oh, actually, where is it at? I just remembered something. Let me change pace for just a second because I forgot it. I forget it something. Is this it?
Intelligent fashion to make a point in these discussions, and if he can, why not get involved in the discussion here and talk about things that we talk about? I mean, we talk about intelligent design and God and religion and philosophy. These are the things that we are here online to talk about. If you can't contribute to this, what are you doing here, right? That's why we're here. That's why we're here. I mean, I don't give a crap about your hopes of getting a degree one day or what you hope to do someday in your life when you accomplish it. Good. High five. Do it. Good. But we're here in this little community for a specific reason to talk about these topics. What is your point here? And it's none of these guys lead me to believe that they're intelligent people. None of them. I mean, I think some of them can show us that they are able to retain information, from their college classes or whatever, maybe, or from something that they read maybe on Google or whatever. I don't know. Whatever they read from, they can show us that they've retained that information. But most of these guys have demonstrated that they're even in some cases in their own area of.
Oh! Look, he's here. So, so Gman. I gotta put that third leg back there. There we go. That's for support. So no answer. So Gman, are you curious? What? No answer for what now? Because we have moved on from you and your stupidity for a second. Because I think that True Empiricism made some funny remarks about me and Sam, and I was actually going to comment on that. So. Oh, somebody else said, I always say happy birthday. Happy birthday. So, how about this, G-Man? I'll make a deal with you. You want to actually sit down, you want to go through, because I want to say that my actual branch of ethics is consequentialism. That's if you want to actually get down to it. But you keep missing one of the points that I was making. I said I got my morals from my wife, my mother, and your wife. So you kept leaving that last part out. So it's actually three people. You're not educated enough to talk about this. So evidently I'm educated enough to know that the your that you're using is possessive, and that you're trying to use the contraction. So one of us passed first grade and the other didn't. You can't, you what is it about you not understanding that you can't talk about people's education if you don't understand basic shit like contractions? Like, is your mom taught you to cheat on your wife? Yes, my mom taught me to cheat. Was it deontological? That was the other one. Thank you, Nicola. We actually need to have a conversation about that, man, because I can never fucking remember the names of them. Virtue, deontological, and consequentialism. Oh, man. I can never remember the names of them. But I find it funny that this illiterate cretin, for some reason, thinks that he's able to. Well, G-Man, here's something fun. Since you're not an atheist, you can't actually judge my morals. So why are you even trying to ask the question? So I'm not sure where you got the idea that that I was actually cheating on my wife, because what I told you, G-Man, is that if I was, you would have to prove it. But G-Man, here's something. G-Man, do you, if you believe that I'm actually cheating on my wife, would you like to know who I'm cheating on her with? I can't wait for you to say yes, because I think you already know the answer. I think you already know the answer to this, because I really do want you to repeat this to people. So come on, G-Man, let's see what you got. You want to know who I'm cheating on my wife with? Go ahead and ask. I love this part because he walks right into it. He's so upset. I might make a video about True later, because True mentions I'm going to a community college, he thinks that that's cool. And I'm like, I don't think community colleges have undergraduate research, none that I know of. But if True wants to think that, okay. It's funny. I like one of the things I really do love about True. I say one of the things me and Sam actually really love about True is that, and you guys have probably noticed this, when he references us both. Well, when he, okay, hold on, let me start over. When True references me, there's kind of a thread. It is Dragnot's trying to achieve something, maybe kind of cool, minimalize it. Then circle back, mention Sam. Sam is more accomplished, he's privileged, minimalize it. And then kind of like sum it up with, well, these guys are kind of sort of doing stuff and whatever, meh. Like every single comment he makes about us follows that line. And you can watch any video with True talking about us, and it's the same theme over and over again. And it's so funny that he does that, because he knows that he actually doesn't have anything going on in his life, and so he's upset. So he has to minimalize what we're actually doing. Bitch, I'm making human skin in the fall. What the fuck are you doing with your life? I get to do research. Like, are you cooking meth in your basement? Like, I'm sorry. Some people actually do want to hear about that. If you're upset that I'm doing something with my life, what does that say about your fucking life? He's live again? Oh, damn. Somebody's triggered, folks. No, trigger tits, no. Oh, trigger White Rabbit, you're confused because I can code switch.
Know that you're married. That means either your wife isn't getting the job done at home, or your mom said, well, baby, when you grow up in life, you should never be faithful to your children.
Never.
This is why nobody should be learning their morality from Dragnot. Because Dragnot's mother was immoral too. Dragnot's mother is going around teaching him to be unfaithful to his wife. To be a compulsive, hypocritical liar on the internet. And by the way, one of the biggest things out of his mouth is God, because until he proves it, I'm going to be right about that.
Oh, God.
But,
it's so butthurt.
Yeah, Dragnot, you have a burden of proof just like I do. I met my burden a long time ago. It's only for you to meet yours. You know what I mean? So,
oh, God.
According to Dragnot, his mother is pretty immoral. She's really, really, really immoral.
Really immoral. Oh, God, he's so bad.
Let's get to Miss D here for a moment. Again, I asked you on 3 or 4 different occasions, Dragnot. I asked you over and over and over again. I asked you, I said, Dragnot, and Miss D, this is not my fault. This is your husband's fault. This is why you need to sit that little boy down and have a conversation with him, because he's bringing you into this conversation. He has a specific goal with you, I think. Okay?
Oh,
so
man.
I want you to listen to my words very carefully, Miss D. Okay? Because this guy is going to put words in my mouth and everything else in the book. He said that you taught him to be unfaithful to you. As we say, he learns his morals from. There's nothing wrong with flirting with another woman.
Oh, no.
He's married. He said he learned that from you. See, he learned that from you.
Now look.
Now I gotta question what kind of a wife you are, and I gotta question what kind of relationship you guys are in. 'Cause it don't sound normal.
So my wife pointing out one of my personality traits is me learning that. What?
It don't sound normal, and I kind of pity you, and I feel sorry for you. You know what I
Oh
mean?
wow, he
That-
really doesn't
that man
understand.
that you're married to. You know what? It ain't none of my business, Miss Dragnut. You stay in that relationship. I just don't deem you to be a moral agent, and that's what you're teaching him.
Well, no, she's teaching it to me now.
You're a man that it's okay to cheat on you. I don't look at you as being somebody I would want to learn my morality from. And if
Big
his
man.
mother is teaching that this is okay.
Big man.
That his mother.
If you look at this pillar right here, it says go vegan. Wait till he turns it around. It says go vegan.
He needs to go around there and cheat on his wife and willfully lie on people and slander and commit character defamation and do all of the things.
Oh, somebody's mad.
That he's doing on his YouTube channel.
I'm going to expose him to the end of time. He's big bad.
Zen, what question did you ask me?
Move your head. You can see it. You can see it. Look, it's right there. It says go vegan.
Teach their child to have a potty mouth like that. You would teach your child to go out there.
He's so mad. Look at his face. Look at his face.
I don't believe a word that's coming out of your mouth. I don't believe your mother is the biggest thing in your mouth. Neither do I believe your
White
mother.
Rabbit, no. I learned how to code switch.
I believe, sir, that you are a compulsive liar.
A compulsive liar.
That's what you are. You avoid of telling the truth. You don't know what the truth is.
Oh,
you don't know
man.
how to tell it. You don't know how to express it.
Oh,
you don't know how to do
no.
anything with it. Because of that, man, I really pity you, man. I feel sorry for you.
You repeat what I said last
I
night.
really do.
Just listen to
It
him.
must be a pitiful existence that you have.
He's repeating what I told him last night.
It's like over and over and over and over again. You know what I mean? But again, you have no basis for your morality. You know it, and I know it.
Oh, God.
Your worldview is bankrupt.
Oh.
Without God, you can't make sense out of your worldview.
This is too
You
good.
constantly borrow from Christianity in order to make sense out of your worldview.
Oh,
That's what
man.
I'm gonna say. That's what I'm gonna stand.
Somebody's
And I'm actually
triggered.
gonna delete this video. You wanna know why?
You could delete it. Code
I'm gonna
switch.
get him new subscribers.
There's a reason you get more subscribers. Jeez. Somebody's mad, folks. Somebody's upset. So wait. It's like I put my dick out and he just runs back, like he backs into it. So wait. So for one thing, he doesn't realize that the people who are watching me go in on him are subscribing to him to watch the original video. You can delete this shit, G-Man. It's already on my channel. I don't give a shit. So wait. He took so I had an entire conversation with Spoken. By the way, folks, I kind of figured that Spoken was going to kind of waffle on some of the things he was saying in the moment. He's Spoken's a people pleaser. That's just who he is. I don't really hold that against Spoken. That's just the type of, because I know people like that and they used to annoy me, but they can't help it. Like they want to stay friends with everyone. The peacemakers, that's who they are. So I have not actually sat down and listened to, kind of what he recapitulated on, but I figured that was going to happen anyway. So it's like, I want him to come to his own conclusion at the end of the day. So yeah, he's mad because I'm getting all the pussy. Well, G-Man, thank you for instructing my wife on, and he deleted it. There it goes. So how about, here's something cool, G-Man. I'm kind of curious. I'm going to get into his claims. So here's the interesting thing. What you're saying, but you couldn't keep your own. How does that work, G-Man? Tell me how you couldn't even get your own household together and keep your own marriage together and make a family like I did. But for some strange reason, the people who got their shit together are going to listen to a loser who's talking to himself in a busy New York street. How does that work exactly? Because I'm not sure. Because evidently I got some kind of game since she's going to work and I'm here chilling. Evidently I got something that you don't. Just saying. So It's really weird how G-Man thinks, like in his little pea brain, he has some magical influence over people that does not exist. This is crazy. He has influence. He listen to all the claims that he's making, out of his theological claims, his scientific claims, all the other kind of stuff that he claims that he has influence over, but he couldn't even keep a woman. It's amazing that he actually doesn't have any fruits from his labor. He claims he does, but shit, he wouldn't have to be traveling to New York just to find somebody to go see a fucking movie with, now would he? It's like, you see, like, yeah, where do you think I'm going to do this with? You think I'm going to go travel to fucking Maryland to go watch a movie? No, I'm going to take my wife, the one that I actually kept. Like, what the? You have to really sit down and wonder what goes through this loser's head. You really have to. It's crazy. It's absolutely fucking insane that he thinks that he has some type of influence, and he's not a loser. He has to lie to himself constantly to make himself believe he's not a loser. Absolutely, abjectly fucking stupid. But whatever you want to believe, G-Man, that's cool. So for those of you who are wondering what he's now misunderstood about the conversation I had yesterday, it was Mrs. Dragnot who pointed out that my personality is very flirtatious, and I don't realize it. She was one who pointed out. She didn't teach that to me. So again, here we go with G-Man not understanding context and then making up things. So the funny part is that my cousin seems to have the same personality trait. It may be because we're both from the same area in Louisiana, and that has something to do with how we were raised as far as the environment that we were in. Because my mother didn't teach us, and his mother didn't teach him to be like that. That is something we develop by being Southern gentlemen. We can be very, very charming and very flirtatious inadvertently. So I do that from time to time, but it's a careful and playful type of flirting. There we go. I flirted with Christina. I flirted with Blue. I flirted with Jade. I flirted with Fiona. I flirted with dudes. It doesn't matter. But when I say flirt, I'm not actively seeking a romantic engagement from other married people. And so here we go with I keep forgetting that G-Man doesn't understand a lot of the terms being used here. Now here's something that's funny. If G-Man, you should actually do something, and this is actually pretty funny. If you go back and watch the last video, like I know that you did, look in the side chat, and you'll see Mrs. Dragnot saying that she's going to go date Sam. She's going to go date Uncle Sam. Dick Shades. Now, why would she say that? Or maybe she's just having a bit of fun. Maybe that's a part of our relationship. Maybe people who are secure with their sexuality and secure with themselves in their marriage can actually do that and have fun. Maybe that is the extent of our relationship. Man. So G-Man, you would know this if you actually had a secure marriage. Evidently you didn't, because it didn't pan out. So I understand. I understand why you don't understand what's going on, and that we can actually have fun with our marriage. No, we're not going out having orgies. No, we're not bringing in unicorns and fucking them and kicking them to the curb. No, we're two people who do love each other, who do like to have fun, because we are secure in who we are in our marriage. But it's obvious you never had that in your life, and you probably never will. It sucks, doesn't it? So, it's so funny. It's so funny. So let me get to, since G-Man wants to wonder what I teach. So let me tell you something about military culture, G-Man, because that's obviously something you never had, you've never been around. So those of us who are military brats, or those of us who are in the military, do curse a lot around our children. Now, you'll also notice something about our children. Our children are very disciplined. My child knows what he can and can't say. We don't have the taboo words that we don't say around. There are certain words that I will try to not use around him. But other more mundane words like shit, I don't care. And he knows not to say them. But that's because my child is raised with something you were never raised with, and that's called discipline. He's being taught on a daily basis that he needs to control his emotions. And that's so he doesn't grow up to be an idiot like you, a maladjusted man-child. So, it is... Oh, back sayings out. I'm not going to... That's funny. That's funny. But I'm not going to repeat that. But it's funny because G-Man has never raised kids. He's never actually had a loving relationship with another woman. But he somehow is now giving advice and telling people how to, like, where does he get off doing that? Again, well, here's the funny. Here we go again, folks. He claims that atheists, we're not in the right category to judge Christians. Well, G-Man, you're not in the right category to judge anyone's child rearing or anyone's marriage, since you're not married and you ain't raising kids. So you can hop off my nuts about what you think I'm doing, because you're not there. You're not at my level. Sir, let me give you an illustration. You're down here. Actually, you're down there and I'm up here when it comes to what we're doing in life. You can't talk about what goes on up here until you raise some ranks a bit. So how about you work on developing an actual plan of action with your life, and you get to my level, then maybe you can try and critique what I'm doing, okay? Because as far as I'm concerned, and as far as literally everyone else is concerned that has to view my family in public, they only have good things to say, other than, well, I'm just a jackass. My child is actually so well behaved that I've been able to bring him to my statistics class. I almost fucked up that. I've been able to bring him for the last 2 weeks to my statistics class, and he's been able to sit there and pay more attention to what's going on and not disrupt more than some of the adults in the class. There's been very few times he's had to actually interrupt something, and only slightly because the phone slipped out of his hand. But he is very well behaved. It's almost like we've trained him, and he has some type of home training from parents who are actually somewhat well adjusted in society. I know you don't know anything about that, G-Man, but that's okay. That's a lesson for another day. So it's crazy that G-Man somehow thinks that his comments on my family or what I'm doing are somehow relevant when he can't even keep a woman. I mean, is it a surprise? Jeez. Oh, good shit, Fiona. No, you couldn't bring G-Man to a statistics course. No, you can't bring him to any class because it requires him to shut up and listen. He ain't gonna do that. But it's hilarious. It is hilarious how this guy with no life prospects, nothing good in his fucking life, has to travel to another state just to go find someone to go see a movie with him. And he somehow thinks now he has the audacity to try and critique other people's lives. It's like, shit, how about you learn to fucking read first, dude? Take steps. Oh, thank you, Sam, for reminding me about that. Thank you. Boop. So get this. Sam caught this shit. Evidently, he's going to improve his marathon now, since that's all he has in life. But he's going to improve it by 2 hours. Now, I'm no long-distance runner, folks. I knew something sounded a little funny about that. To improve a time for over 2 hours, I would say you would have to exponentially increase your miles. Each mile, like if you would actually track an improvement per mile, plot it, it would have to be, I think, an exponential curve. I'm just spitballing here. But by that margin, I would say you would have to, in order to get that type of improvement. I don't think any human is physically capable of improving by that much. That's ridiculous. He thinks he can win a marathon, but he would have to improve it by 2 hours. 2 hours. No, he's below average, folks. And luckily we have some long distance runner folks who can translate this stuff. If you take G-Man's age and you take his time that he's mentioned in his previous videos, He is below average for his age. But he thinks that he can win. He's not even good at marathon running. But he's convinced himself somehow, even though there's a clear metric, you can see scoreboards about who fucking finished first, who finished last. You can see it in his mind. He can somehow beat the odds. Fuck numbers. Fuck reality. I'm a winner. Yeah. Not raping, rapping. R-A-P-P-I, not raping. God damn it. Don't. Well, don't get me started on that. But it's funny how delusional this guy is. Like I am tickled to death by how, and you know what? If you want, if like I don't even know. Like I've called Mama Dragnot, and she can tell you that she's tried to instill values within me that just never stuck. I can tell you that right now. Like I definitely agree. My mother wants me to be a better person. Definitely wants me to be a better person. She doesn't want me to be this petty. I tell you that. Full disclosure here. My mother does not like how petty I am, but she understands because that's her flaw too. So she accepts it to a degree. But it's So I'm going to read from Sam. To give perspective, I don't have a single friend who has run under 230, including conference championships and All-Americans. just to give you guys perspective. So not only is Gman subpar with his style of argumentation, but he's also subpar with his passion, if you want to call it. His marathon running is subpar. It's like everything this guy does in life is just shit. It's just shit. And that, and you really have to sit back and like, let me dial it back a bit. Let me dial it back, folks. I can't imagine how it really must feel to be him. So let me separate some things for a second. Let me spread it out. Okay? Sam, somebody's asking for the time. I don't remember the time. I think Sam has it. A part of me understands the inability to properly articulate certain things. A part of me has lived through that. That was a large part of my early adolescence. And so I had to take steps. And I've talked about this before. I'm able to code switch now and enunciate a bit more because that took me time. I stood in the mirror for hours enunciating, watching documentaries with the closed caption on, taking my time and thinking about things. No shit, I used to stand in the fucking mirror and repeat things, repeat lines. I can't remember like from what. But it took me time to build up this level of articulation. And when I actually take my time, it sounds a bit better because half the time when I'm laughing and speeding up talking like JD Kane, it sounds like I have a dick in my mouth. And I've listened to myself like, God, I got to slow down. Starting to sound like JD Kane. But part of me understands that. But where the separation happens is that I actually took the time because I did a self-assessment. I actually fucking listened to people. And I said, I need to improve. If I want other people to understand me, I have to meet them halfway and be able to be understood. That was on me. It's incumbent upon yourself to improve yourself, not just make up shit in your head and go, I'm just great because I'm me. So I took the time to do that. Because being raised by a woman who's been in HR for, she's been a human resources person for 40 plus years. You would think that she would have a certain perception on how people sound. And I thank Hogtie for this term. I didn't know there was a term for this. There's shibboleth, the way that you sound to other people. When people are talking the talk, when you say someone talks the talk, that's referring to the shibboleth. that's something that she hones in on when she's interviewing people for positions. Because if they speak like Gman, you're probably not going to want them for that position because they're just talking out their ass. He doesn't sound like he knows what he's talking about. He's just excited. He's just saying like things are coming out, word vomit. But you listen to Gman and contrast him against like Doc Savage, you don't even have to know that Doc Savage, the PhD in biochem and does, has a background in immunology. You don't even have to know that. You just listen to them talk on the same topic of vaccines, and you'll notice a clear and distinct difference in the knowledge and the ability to articulate. And you'll notice a difference. So that right there is one of the areas that I have to separate and go, that's where part of me empathizes, but a part of me kind of also despises him for his own laziness. Because at the end of the day, he is a lazy motherfucker. Immensely lazy. Now he can go and run 5, 6, 7, 8 miles. That's cool. That's cute. Go put on your little boy shorts and go run. Some of us did that in full kit while we weighed over 300 pounds with a weapon in an aid bag, ready to go train for a war. I think that's really cute, G-Man. But I'm never going to be impressed by Tough Mudder. It's not, and G-Man, don't get me wrong, man. It's not you or any little boyfriends and the stuff that you guys do. It's not y'all in particular. It's just I've already done stuff that's way harder than that. So all that stuff is kind of beneath. And this is not just me. It's every single person who's ever served. If you go and ask them, is someone who runs a marathon, is that anywhere close to you doing regimental runs or just fun runs around base? No, of course not. We've done shit way harder than that. So we're not going to find that stuff impressive at all. It has nothing to do with y'all as a people. It's just bitch shit. That's what we call it. And no offense to anyone who does Tough Mudder, no offense to anyone who runs marathons, but it's just not something that we're going to be impressed with at all. Whatsoever. We are not going to be impressed by the shit that you guys that you think that that's an actual accomplishment. So while everyone should have a hobby, while everyone should have something cool in their life, there are certain tiers and there are certain levels of stuff that have a corresponding difficulty. I think that he put on, I don't think so either. Yeah. Supposedly he's saying that he put on 25 pounds of pure muscle during the winter as a 40-something-year-old man. Okay. If you say so, bro. But it's crazy. It's crazy because it's like he somehow wants to try to compare himself to folks who are actually doing shit. But he doesn't want to use any type of metric where he knows that he won't come out on top. Because there's no way that G-Man's going to say that any of the girly shit that he does is anywhere close to have actually like serving in the military or as a police officer or as a fireman or any actual public service. So running is slow, and this is people, he's running a below average marathon. Below average. But he's trying to compare that to shit. And again, I find it cute, but just running for long distances of time, again, this is just my opinion. You have that and compare that to actually running to a mission and engaging. So, hey, running is cool. Doing a job, a dangerous job, even in a simulated combat zone, that's rough, mentally fatiguing, because you can zone out and run and just put your mind to it, but you can't zone out and run for long distances of time with weight. There's a huge difference between those two activities. And the other standard that I have is that I've actually climbed a mountain. It's actually hard. Because, again, there's a physical aspect to climbing mountains, and there's a mental aspect. And there's a few people in the community that I know who have actually climbed mountains. I've climbed Mount Teaford. I have a picture with me and friends standing next to one another on Mount Teaford in the Mojave fucking desert. One of the most grueling mental and physical tasks I have ever done in my life. Even the mental fatigue that came with having Hurricane Katrina destroy my entire town was nothing compared to that. But if he thinks that some of these, whatever it is that he thinks that he's doing in life is cool, who am I to take that away from him? Okay. But when you try and start comparing it to like things that are mentally and physically challenging, I don't know about that. But you know what? I have my opinion. That's just my opinion. But let me point out something. Let me point out how bad Trigger Tits here has been up my ass because I'm giving him exactly what he's been giving other folks. Because he can't back down. He cannot, for the life of him, back down. He needs to. And he somehow, for some strange reason, doesn't realize that I feed off of that. The same negativity that he puts out, I feed off of it. And I give it back to him. You would figure that. You would figure that the Christians who are contacting him in private, which, yes, I know about them, Gman, that are telling him you should probably back off and slow down from attacking people, you should probably listen to him. Because Gman thought that he was going to go this route where Dragnot's out here cheating on his wife. Well, let's think about something here, Gman. And I've joked about this because, again, me and my wife actually have a pretty good relationship where we pretend that we're going out cheating on each other. So, to give you an example, G-Man, and folks, watch for this later. Watch for this story to change. Watch for it. I'll come home, I come walking home, whatever. And then she'll go, oh, hurry up, get up, my husband's here. Pretending as though she has a lover in the back, and he has to escape out of the window. Classic scenario, right? And so I'll go, okay, I'll wait here, I'll give him 5 minutes, I'll give him 5 minute head start, and then I'll go run after him. And then we laugh, and then what's for dinner? Or how you doing? Whichever comes first. That's our relationship. Or if I'm leaving late at night to go pick up something, like, I don't know, maybe Sonic's. I'll go, I'll leave, send her a text, hey, I'm going over to my bitch house tonight. I'll be back later. And so she might send me a frowny face emoji or something. That's a part of our relationship. Because she knows I don't have time to go. I don't have the mental fortitude for another woman. God damn, like that's actually a lot. But the break script, because it might be that I'm just still haven't checked out, Chris. It's just hearing that still bothers me, and it's my family vehicle. I'm still haven't checked out. But he doesn't have that type of relationship with a woman, so he doesn't understand that, and so now he's under the impression that we're out cheating on each other. Well, think about this. Think about this, folks. At what fucking time do I have to cheat on her? I'm on here or I'm at fucking school. just actually think about it. Think about if there are 18 working hours in a day. I'm up for 18 hours. You guys know that I wake up every morning at 7 a.m. And my son's on the bus by like 8. Sometimes you see me stream in the mornings, and then the stream cuts off when I need to go to school. I publicly stated what my school schedule is. So you know that Tuesdays and Thursdays are really busy. I have Fridays off. and I go to see a therapist. Actually, I need to go see it in about 50 minutes on Fridays, and I go up to the school. So I would have to be cheating in between class. I would have to be at school and cheat in between classes and somehow, in some way, shape, or form, not get caught by campus police and other people. Or it would have to literally be in the middle of the night. I would have to somehow wake myself up with some type of alarm that she can't hear, even though she's a light sleeper, and gets woken up very, very easily. So it's one of those two scenarios. There might be another scenario that I'm not aware of, but at what point in time do I have to even conduct that? So it's so weird that he comes up with it, but he actually doesn't think about it. Just think about the logistics of how something like that would work. But again, I'm sorry. I told Gman to do something mean, folks. I told him to think. I should have known better. Bad Dragnot. Bad Dragnot. I don't skip classes. I like these classes. Microbiology, fucking genetics, molecular genetics, stats. Okay, you know what? I lied. That's a lie. I skipped the fuck out of ecology. I'm not even gonna lie. That's just boring as hell. It's at 7 p.m. I'm on here like at 7 p.m. That's not why I skip it, because I'm just lazy. Last time I took my son to the park. Not even gonna lie. I took my stat notebook, I was practicing stats, and I took my son to the park. I admit it, I did skip that class. I will completely acknowledge that. I am a big enough person to say that. Literally big enough. So, while I'm huffing and puffing on my way to the car, I made a decision that I was going to not sit in that class all night. I was going to take my son to the park and let him play. I am such a terrible person. So, it's so funny how butthurt he gets. And I hope he does a review of this video later, because a part of me wanted to, I was going to play the thing that he had last night. What was the name of that video? Because he wanted to do a review of what is it called? I'll tell you in a second. I will tell you in a second. Recent events, open hangout with Gman, True Empiricism, and more. He was doing a review of the conversation I had with Spoken. And so he would make up, and some of you, if y'all want a good laugh, go watch it. Because you can see how kind of like his statements won't remain consistent. No, when y'all see that happen, that's the app crashing. Like the screen will freeze up and it'll say that there was an error occurred and the app closed. And so I'm really quick on pressing it, so it looks like it's only a second, but it's a few seconds that passes. You guys just don't realize it because I'm hitting that button real quick. But you'll see him give some type of motivation, or I don't know what you want to call it, a motivation or like a prediction about what I'm actually doing or I'm actually saying. And then you'll hear me say what's happening, and then he'll change it. So whatever that prediction was is null and void, and so he'll go and he'll say something, oh no, he's actually doing this. So, and I gave the example for those of you just tuning in of where he was talking about, I think it's the claim about where I get my moral basis. Yeah, I want to say it's the claim about moral basis. So he, and I would do statistics on a bench while he's at the park, while I'm keeping an eye on him. But he made a claim about what my motivation was for my moral basis or something to that effect. And so before he played the video, he would just call me I'm just a bull-faced liar. I'm just lying to everyone. Lie. That's all Dragnot does. He just lies outright. And then you hear me say to Spoken that I was being facetious. And so I'm doing to him what he likes to do to other people. I'm giving a claim, and then it's him that has to disprove it, which he does very often, which he did in the last video. And so he hears me say that, and then he doesn't stick to Dragnot's lying. Oh, now Dragnot's just trolling. He's not serious. So what happened to me just being a bold-faced liar? Because now it changed. Now that he heard me say that I was being facetious and I was using his tactics against him, now I'm a troll. And you see, just watch the video and you'll see him keep changing stuff like that. And for some reason, I guess it's weird because he goes, I guess Dragnot says something, but Dragnot doesn't realize that other people are watching. I can't make this shit up, folks. He literally says that I don't realize other people are watching. So when I address you guys here, evidently I don't know that there's 74 people watching. What? Really? Is that how that works? Okay. You can't make this shit up. You really can't make this shit up. He literally says that. I want to say it's around. I gotta go back now. I'll tell you. I'll give you guys an approximate timestamp. It's around, I say 9 minutes. Yeah, 9 minutes 30 seconds. He makes a prediction about me saying whatever, and then I tell him I'm being facetious, and then he changes it, and then he says that I don't realize that there are people live watching. Okay, where'd you get that from? So, the projection monitor that is Gman, strangely enough, somehow is just like, I don't know. It's wow. Just wow. What do you say, folks? So, here we go.
That's true.
That's my little brother.
Anyway, moving on. And this got nothing to talk about that. He violated every single rule. But yo, let's start with, what do you expect out of this movie?
I expect to be entertained, and I expect to see some hard-hitting action. That's what I expect.
You know what? It's funny. If it's as good as
DC rules.
Did you see Captain America: Civil War?
No.
If you saw that, I hope this movie's like that, because that is a great movie. You gotta watch that movie. Did you not watch Captain America: Civil War?
I saw clips of it.
It's a pretty good movie. But listen, this guy liked Justice League, so obviously something's wrong with him mentally. The Justice League sucked, but he loved it. He liked it. So,
Not gonna disagree.
What happened to the next Justice League? So right now we're about to go get our seats, and we're gonna, after we come out, we're gonna let you guys know what it looks like. The G-Man is MP. We'll see you in a couple of minutes. Boom.
So, you're gonna watch Justice League. So, oh man. Okay, so MP's a good guy, folks. If y'all never hung out with MP, if you never went drinking with MP, which two of us did, me and Sam have been separately drinking with MP, and my man's life is interesting. Well, his MP, let me see. He comes up to about, He comes up to about here on me. About there. He's about shoulder height. Probably a little bit more. He's taller than G-Man by a few inches. So, yeah, I don't think I'm thinking of Batman. So I've not seen Justice League. I'm going to find Justice League later today and watch it. But my goodness, folks. My goodness. So I've been on here long enough. I hope y'all have been thoroughly entertained. Hannah, I did see your comment. I'm considering it, but I need to get some stuff together because that's actually a pretty serious topic. That's a serious topic. It's a topic that does require a bit of research, and you want to cover your bases before you just get in and start making claims. Because unlike G-Man and Tommy Hall, you just don't want to go out there and misinforming people. 187. You're gonna have to put that in American units. Hannah, I don't mind doing a video describing what I could do a video describing how my workout knowledge has changed over the years, and before Army, during Army, after Army. So if that's something that people will be interested in, I think I lost an inch over the years, but I'm 70. Yeah, I'm 73 inches. So yeah, I'm 6'1". I'm 6'1" right now. So if that's something that people want, yeah, I have no problem. I want to know. I think MP is a little bit tall. I want to say MP is at least 5'9". At least. I don't want to short him any inches. But yeah, actually, yeah, Sam was talking about doing a bro science thing, and we could have a hangout. If that's something that people want, we could do it. And yeah, everyone for other reasons besides you, and that's fine. If you guys actually want to see some of the workouts that I used to do, I'm not doing that because we're talking about working out. I'm actually hot, and as you notice, I've had a shirt on for longer than I like. So it is something that we can do. We can do. We can even get Spoken, because I know he likes to work out too. So it's definitely something fun, and it will break the monotony, because I know that Spoken wants to have another hangout, and I know Antonio wants to have another anime hangout. So if we want to have a general bro science hangout, we can do that. We can do that, and maybe when Mrs. Drag gets back today, I'll probably put in. Actually, I need to finish my Patreon video. Thank you for reminding me. I'll show you guys some of the workouts, or at least try to show you some of the workouts I used to do. I think Mob Psycho 100 is the anime. Yeah, Mob Psycho 100. So some of the workouts now, and this is why I'm a little apprehensive about doing it. Some of the workouts that I did will physically hurt you. And I know I'm not just saying that, I need to watch it too, honestly, Hannah, I'm not going to lie. Some of the stuff that I did contributed to my disability. I'm dead serious. Looking back, I should not have been working out as much as I was, and I should not have been pushing myself and doing a lot of the stuff that I was doing. When I say that my body has physically deteriorated because of what I've done, I'm not joking. I am not joking. I have permanent ulnar nerve damage from combatives training. I have other injuries too, and again, Gman says, "Oh, my back." It's amazingly enough, I don't have lower back pain. I don't. I was never airborne, and that's probably why. But I don't have lower back pain, but I do have knee issues. I do have leg issues. And I'm not talking about ITB band, or I think it's redundant, but IT band syndrome, nothing like that. And there are issues for when you carry lots of weight for extended periods of time. And that did have an impact on my spine. So that's why I'm a bit apprehensive about telling people. Even when Eve was trying to lose weight, I was a bit apprehensive about telling her about the diet that I had, about the intermittent fasting, because only eating for 1 hour every 23 hours, it's really hard, and it's not something everybody should do. The only reason I did that is because I had access to medical facilities, because I was working in them. I could do regular blood tests. I could just go and pull aside one of my subordinates and say, "Hey, I've already talked to Doc Edmonds. I need this blood test. So go ahead and draw up, 20 cc's for whatever. I'm just making up amounts, whatever." But I could do that. And I could check to see my progress. And then I could go and sit down and have a counseling, a medical health counseling session with some of the physician's assistants. So that's why when Gman and especially Tommy start talking, "Oh, you just do this and just change this about your..." No. You don't tell people that. You don't just tell people to go do shit like that. You don't know their health. And you can't really discuss that stuff with people. There's, especially in a professional capacity, because there's such a thing called HIPAA. Just gonna throw that out there. In a professional capacity. So since you don't have that information, you should be very careful about what you tell people. And again, that goes to why I'm a bit apprehensive about those types of hangouts. Just general workout stuff, yeah, cool. But when you're talking about combining stuff like intermittent fasting with the types of workouts that I was doing and the frequency, they can lead to issues. especially for people who, like, just be honest, Mrs. Dragnot's she's not gonna put on that 60-pound weight vest. It's not gonna happen. She can barely lift our son now. So that type of stuff is not for her. It has to be dialed down. It has to go according to her health. So I'm not opposed to having those hangouts. Just let me know if who was all interested in that, and we could just, kind of spitball and talk about it. But there's going to be plenty of caveats on that. And it would behoove you to go and do some blood work first before you start that, and discuss it with your physician. Whatever your primary health provider is, please, please, please discuss it with them. Please do. Please do. Because that stuff is actually very serious. So your health is your health. Once you lose it, you're kind of fucked. Literally. So on that note, folks, I need to go go get ready for my mental health appointment. And it would also behoove people to, if you know you have mental health issues, I'm a public advocate of mental health. I'm going to go see my therapist in about 30 minutes. So get ready, and hopefully my lift gets here on time. I'm going to go see her. So on that note, folks, I hope you've been entertained, maybe a little bit edified, maybe not. But I will see y'all another time.